The only way this ends is revolution. Revolution or civil war. I have been talking about this for a year solid now, as have many people around the world. Mostly a lot of Canadians have been talking about this. We've been screaming this. The American reaction to us has been, please come help us. And then when we say, no, help yourselves, they say, we can't. We have a big military. There's a police presence. What about the guns? And I think a lot of people online have been tiptoeing around being blunt, because when we are blunt, it sounds like we were trying to incite something. But in actuality, we're just talking about what has happened throughout history and the course of history and how these things go. The reality is America is under a totalitarian regime. It crossed over in March. But there's not a good way out of that. Not with the courts, not with the process, not with peaceful protests. That's just not how totalitarian regimes or regime change in general works. That is not how we've seen it play out through history. I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've written, but I'm also going to show you a piece from The Guardian that came out today that's really alarming. This is something that I wrote back in February of last year. Canadians and the rest of the world are not going to save America. We didn't defund your education system, spend decades brainwashing people that America is the best country in the world, and then let capitalism take over your newsrooms. You let that happen. Throughout history, people have had to rise up to resist totalitarian governments. Americans don't get a pass on doing the work of resistance, and it's pretty entitled to think that you would. Also, a caveat, we know that, Black and Indigenous people in America have been resisting for decades, if not longer. But what I'm talking about is right now, in this moment, people needing to resist. By March 11th, I had looked at the totalitarian regime checklist, and at that time we knew that he met 4 of the 5 of those things: discontent, a false savior, censorship, persecution and propaganda, creating a real or fake crisis, purges and genocide. What we didn't know at the time, and I would find out in May, is that he had already crossed this 5th line. There is a piece that came out in The Guardian today showing that 2025 was ICE's deadliest year in 2 decades. 31 people have died in ICE custody. If you don't believe it, here's the chart. Please go read the whole article. But here is the chart showing the trend of when it went down and when it's gone right back up. And that is from 2004 till now. And I have been bringing this up over and over and over for a year. There is just no way out of a totalitarian regime that doesn't involve people dying, human life loss, unfortunately. I believe in the Arab Spring that happened, there was about 60,000 people who died. This happens during revolution. This happens during civil war. There is no way to avoid that. And the sooner that Americans realize that you're not getting out of the totalitarian regime without actually fighting it physically, I know people are frustrated, and I know I have I have American friends and family, and they are afraid and trying to get out, frankly. But you have crossed a line, and now the president of your country is invading others. So we've escalated now from just your own totalitarian regime to expansionism. You are looking at, this morning, Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife, tweeted out a photo of Greenland covered in an American flag. They've been making threats against, they already have bombed and removed the leader of Venezuela. They are making threats against Mexico, Canada, Greenland, the list goes on. We are not going to come in and save you. We are not going to intervene in what's going on. We'll protect ourselves. Canada has been ramping up its military budget and our Customs and Border Patrol budget. Where I live, about 9 kilometers from the border, we have border jumpers all the time. And so Border Patrol has been on high alert. That's new. We didn't used to have tons of border jumpers. This is a new thing. But we really need Americans to understand, if they don't already, you're not getting out of this clean. Nobody's going to come and save you. People are, and people will say, because they always do, we can't lose our jobs, we can't lose our health care, and what about people who will die? People are already dying. It's already happening. So it's now more of a choice of, are you going to try to fight this, or are you going to live under this regime? That's it.